There we go. Check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Mine is updating settings for Twitch, YouTube, and all of that. And now I hit go live.
Uh-oh.
Just double checking I'm not already recording. Jeez.
We are live.
We are
And
live.
I shall hit the record on Zoom when we're ready. So, because we will also record in Zoom so that we have backups in case anybody wants the audio.
I will take an audio video record because I'm not going to record this.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm recording now. Well, it's streaming and recording now because OBS is awesome. So, hello, my viewers, and you guys could say hello to yours, I guess. And
Hello, what's up, everybody?
Hello, Fox fans.
Hello, I'm Night Valen from the Valen, and welcome to BATCRAFT Live.
Oh, what's up, everybody? BATCRAFT. This is Bo here, and I'm here with all the BATCRAFTers.
Yay!
Yay.
Although my
Hello,
view,
future viewers, I'm
Hello.
Kyle, and I am here with everyone that was involved with Flashcraft. Say hi.
Subscribe to that man and watch him on Twitch.
yes,
But it's different for all of us. You just pointed to snow on my screen.
they pointed to me on my screen, so I was fine with it.
Yes. So this is not the Brady Bunch. Are we just going to spend this time looking down at each other?
Well, I did that earlier. I was like looking down, and I'm like, hey, Bo, how's it going?
Hi, Knight. How's it going
Never mind.
for you too?
I'd like it noted for the record. There was a bad joke I could make. I did not make it.
Good job. Good job, Will.
Excellent work. Excellent work.
I'm improving and
Golf claps.
stuff. So, and my name is
New
Will. I'm
year,
playing the
new
part of
year.
Will tonight. So, rock and or roll. So I guess Snow is in charge of this, right?
Oh, I thought I was just in charge of getting it together.
Recording in
Oh,
progress.
snap.
I thought you were you were supposed to be our
The cat
our
wrangler?
MC, right? You were supposed to have questions, or okay,
Well,
cool.
Free
yes,
for all.
yes, as a matter of fact,
Good. Thank the Lord.
I'm glad
Sounds
that you
good.
are all here today. As we are looking at the end of our awesome BATCRAFT season, which thank you all for being here. I thought it seems like everybody really wanted to have this time to get together, kind of look back on it together. And as we were just saying before we officially got started, it seems like several people were kind of feeling at the same time separately that maybe it's time to go a different direction for them, or like put resources and time and energy in different places. And that to me kind of seems fitting if there are several of you who are kind of feeling that same kind of way. So I don't know.
I
in a
mean,
way, that's nice.
For me, it feels like we are doing what Marvel Cinematic Universe failed to do, which is realizing the jumping off point.
Wow. Unnecessary shots fired right there.
Wow.
Hey, River, how are you? I'm just saying, we were like, you know what? This feels like a good spot. We vanquished Bo. Always a fun time. And yeah.
It
Of
is always
Earth
fun to
2.
vanquish both.
Of Earth 2.
Oh, yes. We wouldn't vanquish Bo of Earth 3.
The Earth 2 tyrant.
He's
That's
the
true.
world's greatest superhero. Why would we do that?
So I thought it'd be fun to take a look back and maybe start talking about looking at BATCRAFT first, and then a little later we'll look further back to before when Knight and I joined, and I guess Dr. Alien is a little bit before us, but in our minds he's part of the OG. When BATCRAFT started, and like why BATCRAFT in the first place, actually. So I don't know who to throw that out to. Maybe that's for you, Bo. Why,
Yeah.
why
I think it's a
BATCRAFT?
Bo.
I can definitely do that. So
Yeah.
of course,
Or
so if we're going all the way back to Flashcraft, the mindset, kind of where all of this stemmed from. Obviously, Bell, who could not be with us because of COVID hockey. I don't know, one of those two things.
Wait, he doesn't exist. You were Bo, right? You were Bell, right?
Right. But so one of the things that was really kind of becoming very obvious as the world was shutting down back in 2020 was that this was going to have a tremendous impact on pretty much all media. And of course, at the time, Bell and I were doing the TV Talk podcast, still kind of are. Although I've been kind of really kind of leading the charge on that one, as Bell has been dealing with COVID hockey for the last year. And so necessary shots fired on that one. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Bell. But anyway, and Bell will return for the next season of The Flash. But that's the thing. Our podcast started off as Flash TV Talk, covering the CW's Flash. We were the #1 podcast for that series, which was a lot of fun, especially in its heyday. It was a big show for us. But over time, as the series kind of built up to Crisis, we did a lot of really fun things with that podcast, not the least of which was our Crisis house party that we threw in Austin, Texas, which was all fun and games until our editor had a stroke. And so that became an actual crisis in and of itself. He's fine, thank God. But the joke because of that is that the Crisis house party became an actual Crisis house party in the midst of all of that. But shortly thereafter, 2020 hit and the world began to shut down. And with it, of course, the way in which a lot of the media that we enjoyed was going to be directly impacted, including our television shows. Having a podcast specifically about a television show, especially for a podcast company that Podastery is, was something to be a little concerned about, in that this would no longer, we knew that there wouldn't really be something to talk about in the same kind of way. And so with that kind of married with kind of the rise of, content creators entering this space from a lot of different angles, especially in the rise of Twitch. Twitch was also big, obviously, before the pandemic, but exploded to whole new heights during the pandemic. We thought it'd be fun to try something a little bit different. Oh my gosh, it's COVID Bell!
I've come back to you now at the turn of the tide.
Bell, I almost had them. I was trying to convince them that I was you all along.
Yes. Oh, fantastic.
Can y'all hear me okay? Is everything sounding good?
You sound lovely. It's good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you guys as well. It's been too long.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so I was just telling them kind of how we kind of got to Flashcraft. I was kind of walking them through Mike's stroke back in Austin and kind of bringing him here. But anyway, but yeah, so I with that kind of being on the rise and kind of the explosion there, and then just personally at that time, my kids were really starting to get into Minecraft, and I really liked the idea of making some content that my kids could enjoy, because so much of the shows that I work on are not necessarily geared towards kids. Always work safe, but not necessarily with a little bit more of a broader age range in mind. And so thus we thought, Bell and I thought, well, hey, why don't we try this a little bit? We'll do kind of like a little bit of an alpha test, and let's kind of bridge these two things, Minecraft and what has been, predominantly our brand, The Flash. Let's build Star Labs from the television series in Minecraft. And so thus, we created what kind of became the first season of Flashcraft. Now, one of the great things that we have been able to enjoy over time is a network of folks who have connected with the TV Talk brand, from our friends at Legends TV Talk, Star Wars TV Talk, represented here, and then beyond. And so when we started doing this, the interest and kind of the ask was that other friends that wanted to kind of get involved in this, we'd love to actually have you. And so, with Will and Kyle being kind of early adopters, eventually Dr. Alien also coming on board as well, we were able to kind of take this just from, the original Flashcraft and bring it in larger. But the big benefit in my mindset is when Fox came on board, Fox was great because Fox was coming on as a listener, somebody who was a fan of the content and really just kind of wanted to hang with us and do something, a little bit more. And so, this was kind of becoming a little bit of its own community ecosystem. And so we decided we needed to take this, instead of just doing one project, what if we actually did like this entire realm where all of us are playing together, which would ultimately go on to be season 2, aka Earth 2, aka Flashcraft. And and so I guess that's kind of the origin story of kind of what began this group.
Yeah, I'll have to add, though, that when Fox came on and just put all of our builds to shame, I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I know. We all had to up our game immediately. It was like, oh, okay, well, see, we're a bunch of podcasters trying to figure out a game that none of us have played before. And then all of a sudden Fox comes on board and builds like an entire, treehouse empire. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, let me get some YouTube videos. Let's see what's going on.
I really appreciate all this flattery, for real. I have no idea what I'm doing constantly at all times. So I have no earthly idea how I even came up with any of that.
So it's just a natural God-given talent that you have shared with
That's
us.
right.
Sure. I was just laying blocks, man. I was just laying blocks.
Yeah, I remember like I see Fox's tree base thing, and then I have like a hole in a wall, like a little hobbit hole, and I'm like,
Right.
all right, I see, I see where this is going. I'm gonna have to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, that was hobbit holes can be pretty artistic as well.
Mm-hmm. They can, but mine was not.
No, most of the Earth 1 builds are better left in the past. I think that's true.
Yes. Yeah. Mine was definitely in the side of a mountain too, and I'm just like, might as well. I could mine very easily from here, so it worked out for me, and then we blew it up.
Yeah.
That's right. We blew it up. Okay, thank you for that, Kyle. So that was the other thing, is that we felt like if this was truly going to be Star Labs, we'd have to destroy it, because Star Labs was constantly, was in a disrepaired state for almost a decade on the series. So it would only make sense if we destroyed it.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was fun being there.
Along came a fox and showed everyone how to build. And then what came next?
So so Fox joined you guys, and then you went to Earth 2, or did Fox join you in Earth 2?
I think Fox joined, and then Will joined at the very end of season 1, and then we blew up Star Labs, and then the 5 of us, I could count 5 of us, went over to Earth 2 for Flashcraft.
Yeah, and the mindset behind Earth 2 was kind of taking the concept of building these DC properties in Minecraft. So we thought, okay, well, we did Star Labs before. Now, let's do the Hall of Justice. Let's do, specifically from the Super Friends was our mindset. And we thought, okay, we'll do a Hall of Justice. We'll do, the Legion of Doom. I always want to say the Legion of Zoom for some reason. I have no idea why that keeps happening. And so that was really great. But, one of the things that had kind of started to happen a little bit with season 1 and really started to pick up in season 2 is an economy. So with our, Hall of Justice build, we started around the fountain, kind of creating little shops and trade and that sort of deal. And it created a wonderful opportunity because, for one thing, it kept a lot of resources close to the team build, which was becoming very important. But it also gave everybody a reason to return to that centralized location for the team build. So that, if you're tweaking this, if you're gathering resources, whatever it is, it gave you more of a reason than just deposit your resources. Like, okay, well, what's else for sale? How can this work on my own personal buildings around the world? And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, but it did become a little bit of a visual. I've always found it a bit of a visual distraction early on, because we had this beautiful Hall of Justice. Like it looked incredible, almost immaculate in its design. And it was surrounded by a giant tree and a Rubik's Cube and, all kinds of different little things. So we ultimately decided to move those shops and into what would become Central City.
Dave, when did you end up joining these guys? First, how did you get wind of it? And then when did you decide to jump in and join these dudes?
Okay, I got wind of it in season 1. I remember watching the blow up Star Labs and started following through season 2. And I remember everything, like from a viewer standpoint that Bo was talking about, all the shops all over and around. It was, and he's right. It was a little bit of visual shakeup, but I've been following it since season 1, and then I seen that Fox had joined, and Will came in, and they were starting to get and I think on one of the episodes of Flashcraft, I think Bo had said, "Hey, if you want to join us doing this, get in touch, reach out." And being a listener as well, I'm already on and supporting. I'm already on the Discord, so I just said, "Hey, I wouldn't mind joining season 3," and then all of a sudden, no, now, come on in, now. Here we go. We'll send you the invite. You can come in now. So I came in, we're continuing my storyline that I was working on my YouTube channel about the interdimensional travel and whatnot.
Wait, so you already had a YouTube channel where you were doing Minecraft stuff in interdimensional travel?
Yeah, I started out working Sea of Thieves, and my computer didn't like recording that. So my kids are around the same age as Bo's kids, and they were starting to get into Minecraft and stuff right around the same time as his. So it just happened that we were doing the same thing at the same time.
So great.
So I was thinking, okay, let's go in. I built the spaceship. that you guys would have seen would have been done probably by the time you and Knight showed up. But yeah, I was already a fan, joined in, and just went from there.
That's I love hearing all of these stories because you guys were already up and running when by the time I really became aware of it. So it's really cool to see like where you guys had been already. And so I guess this is a good time for me to jump in with my point of view. Kind of back to where you were starting out, Bo, like 2020 was happening, that kind of thing. And I was working from home a lot for the first time ever. And so I was getting into podcasts. My work was also kind of mind numbing for the most part. There'd be big chunks of time where I would need something to keep my brain going while my fingers were going on the keyboard. And Knight, Charles, had gotten me started watching Flash, which I hadn't really seen before, and I really enjoyed it. And so I thought, oh, maybe there's a podcast that talks about it. And true to what you said, I've tried listening to several others, and then I'd listen to an episode or two and think, okay, well, this isn't really the energy I want, or not entertaining or something. And then I came across this podcast where it was clear that these two guys were friends. Like they had this camaraderie, and I really liked that because it was almost felt like I was sitting at a table with two people who are really excited about something, knew a lot about it, and also had some fun camaraderie with each other. And that was like, I thought, okay, these are the guys that are gonna hang out with me while I'm working. And
it was professional, right?
Yeah, 100% most
totally professional. 100% professional. Professionalism.
It's very, very professional.
Yes.
And so then I kept listening, and it was great because I was watching The Flash for the first time. I was behind, obviously, because I started with you guys from the first, but caught up.
The glory days.
And,
before Legends TV time.
I also found you, Will, and I started watching that too. I started watching Legends, and I thought, oh, there's got to be a Legends one, and then I found you the same way. But kind of like Dave, there was an episode where Bo mentioned Minecraft, and another thing that Knight had also gotten me into during this time was Minecraft, and I was like, well, okay, let's try it. That'd be kind of fun to play Minecraft. Right. And I think that, and I was like, never on Facebook or anything, but I just sent a message I was like, I don't know how else to get a hold of these guys. So I think I just sent a message to you in Facebook, and I remember hearing back, and I was like, oh, they're gonna let us in.
yes, with very stringent membership guidelines.
Well, I mean, I do want to address that a little bit because, like, it's true. Like, we wanted to be very like an open and like, hey, this is a fun. I think what it became was kind of like a mental respite from a lot of the stress of what was going on in the outside world, IRL, so to speak. And so we did want to make that, very unique and perhaps non-obvious connection point of Flash fans who listen to podcasts and play Minecraft, right? So that's a very, it's that highly sought after market, that highly sought after demographic right there.
The Venn diagram of that one is like, weep, very, very, very small.
Well, and so, but this is the trick of it all, is that we wanted, like, my mindset behind this is I wanted to keep the content holistically work safe, Will. I wanted to keep the content, like, holistically work safe and make sure that it's something that, I felt very comfortable that we were promoting, that we were inviting people into. But at the same time, I also wanted to make sure that we were only allowing people onto the server that were of legal age to be able to create content. And if you're going to be hanging out with folks that are, not minors online, they need to not be minors online, so to speak. And so we ended up getting a ton of requests, and we did put very specific like age requirements on that. And so most of the people that we had to turn away were younger, listeners and fans that were tuning in, enjoying the content, wanted to be part of this. And like, look, you know, it's like the good kind of adults are the ones that are going to tell you, no, I'm not going to hang out with you online because I'm a stranger. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
I know you hear our voice and you see our content, and so you feel very connected. But at the same time, you know, we wanted to make sure that there was that degree of, you know, responsibility and welcoming folks. So to those that did, you know, reach out or request or want to be part of the realm that weren't of age to be able to do so, you know, hopefully you're able to enjoy the content and make some great stuff on your own as well.
I think that's really great because you had said that you started it with your kids in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you reached people who were not apparently adults yet. And that seems really great that you really reached like a group that you sort of had in mind in the
To
first
be
place.
fair, you mean chronological adults, right? Because I don't know that I would.
Well,
count
okay,
myself in
that's
I don't think
a good
most of
point.
them
You shouldn't.
No. As you can tell behind me, I'm still not grown up.
Right.
We're all grown adult.
Right.
children.
Right. Yes.
Grown adult children is perfect.
I do want
Some
to
of the
throw out
favorites.
there, if you guys who are watching this are young adults and are struggling to produce content, just keep at it. It takes a lot of practice.
That's true.
You will discover things that you never thought you would be capable of doing, and you just got to keep plugging away.
That's very good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you
great.
got when you're looking, if you're watching this and you're looking at this at the 8 people here, there are decades combined between all of us here that produce content in practice and whatnot. So yeah, just keep at it. You guys
That was an
who are
old
watching
man
this are
dig,
the
wasn't
future.
it?
Yeah, it was.
It was an old man dig. Yeah.
It was. I'm sorry, Will. No, I'm not. Not really.
That's why I've rebranded myself as the old man gamer. I'm like, this is where we're going.
This is where we're at now.
Well, guys, as an adult who really loves to keep my childlikeness, like I was like, the thing I loved about Peter Pan was like, yeah, why would I ever want to grow up and be stuffy and always cranky and just worried about everything and not want to have fun? And so now that I'm the age of an adult, I still am like that. I definitely like to have that fun and silliness and lightheartedness, and I appreciated that actually because I don't really like to game with lots of people I don't know. You never know how people are going to react. Just come across enough toxicity and stuff that I don't really feel like. And during that time, as you were saying, Bill, where the world was really stressful in general and all this unknown stuff, it was nice. It was refreshing to have a place that was intentionally going to not have certain things in it that I wouldn't have to deal with.
And I got to say, Snow, thank you so much, for both you and Knight joining us, but especially you. My daughters in particular were so excited to hear a female voice on Flashcraft. They're like, Snow is our favorite character. I'm like, I'm your dad. What do you mean she's...
That's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for saying that. So hello.
Hey, but I'd love to touch on something that you just said, because I do think even though we are all adults, one of the things that, I think is important is to never lose the fun of playing. Like, even adults can play, right? And so one of the things that that kind of happened organically is a lot of these kind of different storylines that have popped up that we've seen explode in BATCRAFT, kind of the seeds of which were planted back in Flashcraft as well. And so, there's a lot of yes and a lot of yes and that kind of like has happened. And I think we've been doing the work of juggling each other's stories as best we can, or trying to give each other room and space. And I just want to say that you have all been amazing folks to, create arts and theater and play with. So my hat's off to everyone there.
That's been really great. And I really appreciate you all for making a world where we could all do that and have that freedom. And I think it's because everybody was open to. I was a little surprised too. I was like, but what if somebody wants to do something specific? And it was great to see everyone just be really open. It was like being on a playground where you're like making up the rules and someone says, well, I've got this ball and we're going to get it over there. Yeah, but you can only use your elbows. Okay. And like, it's kind of felt something like that. Yeah. And then I brought my +1 at that time. And because he was the person who introduced me to Minecraft. And when I joined you was like you guys are talking about in season 1. I was like, okay, here's a square house. I made a house. And Knight really brought me in. What did you think when I said like, hey, I've been listening to this podcast and they have this Minecraft world and it's based on The Flash and you introduced me to Minecraft and The Flash want to join me? What did you think?
So do you want my honest opinion?
I want the honest opinion.
Whatever.
So when you first told me about it, I was extremely on the fence about the whole thing. I was like, I don't know. I'm already playing Minecraft with my actual friends, my close friends.
Great word. Thank you, sir.
And on top of that, I was going from Java to Bedrock.
Yeah.
And that's a hard transition to make, especially when a lot of my builds in Java were Redstone related. And it hasn't been until recently that I kind of got my head around the Bedrock Redstone system. So I was really on the fence, but you pushed in the right way so that I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I'm really glad I did. I'm happy to have met each and every single one of you. My fondest moment it was like right when we were fighting the Wither in Earth 2.
Right.
And after that whole thing got done, and I think it was me and Will, we were just jabbing back and forth, and Bo had to step in. He's like, whoa. And I'm like, I like these guys. These guys, I'm gonna stick around.
Yeah, it was yet another opportunity for me to say, oh, well, got to step up my build game. Because
no kidding.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Good night. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for me, one of the questions I have is like, and maybe this is more for Bo and maybe Knight. I mean, storylines. You two more than any of us, like I know for me, I was reactionary. Bo would come up with a storyline. I'd come up with a way to react to it. Mm-hmm. But you two were kind of really, especially Earth 2, Bo, you were the content driver. Like, can you go into like your thought process on that and like what it is you were looking to do and like maybe what inspired you, things of that nature?
Yeah, sure. I'll start, but then I want to pass it to Knight because I do think there is a game recognizing game there. So with Earth 2, my whole mindset is I like to play. I like treasure hunts. I like laying out stories. I like worlds that are very lived in with narrative, and kind of being able to create that narrative organically is really fun. But I do think, it's kind of like, I've had to teach my kids when it comes to bedtime stories and otherwise, like you need conflict. Villains are important to narrative because that's part of what drives the story. There needs to be something to bump up against. And so in a place like this where we're all friends, you don't want to actually have somebody that people don't like or something of that nature. You want to all have fun together. And so I remember very early on the concept of like, I think we need a villain. Now, in the first one, I had the whole concept of like a secret lair, and I was having some fun with the whole Eobard thing. And I was like, what if I really put some gasoline on that, and came up with this mindset of like, what if I actually just tried to be like a supervillain? And I was like, let me try to be the world's greatest supervillain. And what kind of fun could come along with that? Will, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember who like offered up the concept of like a mayor or something like that with the political machinations. Maybe it was Kyle, but there was kind of this discussion about like what, we need some management and that sort of thing. And, and so I was like, well, this is perfect. This all kind of plays together and creates for some fun conflict. And I don't mind. It's kind of one of those nice things. If I'm the villain then ideally nobody's feelings can get hurt because I'm the bad guy. Now, what I like, you know what I mean? So, you know, if everybody's piling on, I don't mind being that one because I've created this persona that people can pile on to. And also I liked the idea that I could be using the rules that we've created and like, you know, and affirming those rules by bumping up against them, right? So like making sure that I never broke any of the rules that we kind of established as a group, but also kind of affirm them by showing like, no, we're not going to break the rules. I could break the rules right now, but I'm not going to break the rules. And it kind of helps to solidify that as well. Netherite was kind of a fun thing. I was like, well, if I'm going to be a villain, there needs to be a reason for it. So that's why I kind of came up with the idea that I wanted to create a Netherite throne. Of course, Game of Thrones was in its not exact heyday at the moment, but still I thought the idea of a Netherite throne would be pretty cool. And so that became a big driving force. Originally, my mindset was I was going to be, I kind of wanted to build myself up to be the big boss fight of season 2. But as I saw what Fox was doing, I realized, let me take a knee on this and let him, you know, give some space for that story to kind of grow. The other factor too is the time travel aspect of things. Y'all had created the resistance against me as a supervillain, which I thought was awesome, except it started impacting the economy of the game. So like,
yes, it did. Whose idea was that? I forget.
The whole point.
That was the one thing where I was like, okay, guys, this is actually impacting my ability to build at speeds I want to build because now I'm not making the diamonds I need to buy the thing. Like it was like that was the one area where it was starting to actually get to a point where I was like, oh my goodness, this is actually becoming a problem, which is why I came up with the concept of future me coming in as a superhero so that y'all would stop boycotting me for a couple of episodes so I could get the economy fixed. But that ended up being great.
That's why future you came in?
That's why future me came in. And so I was like, well, this is great. So now I can be kind of go back to being more of a beloved character. It also gives more room so that, you know, Fox can kind of become this villain we're going against. I had originally, with that whole future, with the going back in time plot line, the mindset there was that I was going to kind of showcase the idea of like Darkseid coming in and possibly using that. But then it ended up being Brainiac with what Fox did, which was great. It was so much fun to kind of give space for that and to be able to be a hero in that storyline as opposed to the villain. So that was just a lot of fun. But that's kind of what I think that created a system of, and hopefully I was able to demonstrate that well, but being able to like all of us have fun, do what we wanted to do, but then also kind of give space and keep things malleable so that we could kind of, you know, work on a storyline together. The Resistance popped up organically. Y'all had secret bases, some of which I didn't even find until the very end of the series. You know, the future plotline became a bit of a problem in season 3 for me, which I guess can talk about later. But yeah, that's kind of the mindset of where a lot of the stories came from. But Night, like again, it's game recognized game because once Night showed up, now all of you had your stories. Dr. Alien is like the webmaster spinning so many different intertwining stories and everything else. But Night, you came in from like day one of BATCRAFT, and it's like, you know, I got a company, I got my flashy suit, I've got my wheat that I'm just handing out to everybody. I was like, what is this dude doing? He's already got something in the works right there.
Well, right at the tail end there of Flashcraft season 2, I had released the that Riddler spoiler. Everybody should remember him hacking into Bo and various other BATCRAFTers, and letting everybody know that BATCRAFT season 3 was gonna be a thing. And right off the bat, I wanted to have this character, Night Valen, who wasn't exactly sure of himself as a CEO, but was still very capable, and build a business empire. This is why I got into the concrete business right off the bat. I know, Bo, you were like, books are the thing to do. And I'm like, everyone's got to have concrete.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone's got to have wool. Everyone's gonna have
not in season 2 they didn't. Not when you were like when they have a whole boycott of your entire concrete industry.
Oh man, I want to go back and watch season 2 stuff because I don't remember some of this stuff.
I created
Oh, no,
an awesome.
you were
Sorry,
part
not
of
to
the
cut you off,
resistance.
Knight, but I
know,
created
I
an
know.
awesome concrete store in the
You
LexCorp Mall, and nobody
Right.
bought my concrete. That was such an expensive endeavor, and that's why afterwards I was like, I'm never doing concrete at all. It was the boycott that really got me there.
Well,
to be
dude, it
fair,
inspired me to figure out how to make my own. Like that's when I started building like the concrete farms of like, okay, I will just put this in a thing of water, run back and break my own. I'm like, done. You know, it was 100% in result. Both seasons, like that was my job. I felt like was, you know, a result was to somehow stand on the other side to give you something to fight against. You know, and definitely season 2, that was, I think the resistance was me and Fox primarily, was the two of us like, we should come up with a base. And then it just kind of escalated from there. But it was, I think, Kyle, you were in the resistance.
I definitely was. There's a lot of the end of season 2 that I just like. A lot has happened for that. I just don't remember.
A whole other Earth.
Well, so that was the thing, right? We had my concept was like the LexCorp versus the League of Assassins. Now, the League of Assassins, sorry, getting back to season 2 real quick. The League of Assassins was very interesting because I started that game as kind of a fun way so that nobody was supposed to know who was behind it. And, you know, everything was going well until Will, I think you uncovered that one. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it ended up just happening
I
way.
can tell you how I found out, sir.
What? How's that?
You streamed it.
Did I?
You actually streamed that you were him. I was like,
Oh no! I think at that point I thought that you had already known at that point, so that's maybe why I messed that up.
Well, didn't somebody find the secret button or something?
I found the button.
Yeah, but the button wasn't intended for you, I don't think.
Right.
And you found the booby trap, and you saw Bo mysteriously close to the button.
Yeah.
And I think you put 2 and 2 together. I don't know.
It was a mess. That was a mess. It was funny, but we were able to use that and then do the whole LexCorp security. I will say, and I need to admit this, I will admit this on camera. I did say I didn't break any of the rules. I may have broken one rule in season 2. I don't know that I've ever confessed to this. I did forge Bell's signature on giving LexCorp the rights to privatize
I knew you did.
all of our industry, and I acted like he had done it. And at some point, Bell just stopped trying to question it anymore because he got so like, it's like I never agreed to this. I'm like, I've got the paperwork. So I'm sorry, buddy. That one's on me.
It's all good.
But
I
no,
knew you
so
did it. I was
Will,
gonna let you roll with it and live with the shame.
it worked well. But no, Will's right. So Will was kind of a foil in season 2. I thought, honestly, Knight, I thought in season 3, because of what you had set up with the Riddler and everything, I was like, all right, Knight's about to like be like the big bad here for a while. So what was kind of your mindset behind
Bo
that?
was all saying like Knight's got to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Well, so
And-
for that thought process, I did want to be not the big bad, but like a leading catalyst that would provide an opening for a bigger bad than the Riddler. It didn't work out that way, unfortunately. It took me like Arkham was the plan, to have a safe space for people to be able to break the rules that had been established. Because one of my major complaints when I joined was, well, if there's no killing, no stealing, no this, that, and everything else, no griefing, that like how can we generally have an actual bad guy?
Right.
Someone that's a threat, someone that we have to join up and fight against. And the Wither boss in the end of season 2, that was all of that, all rolled up into one. We all died to the Wither. I don't know how many times. It destroyed
The lag.
Central City, and like we had a way to revert that, and that's fine. But like we all had fun fighting that big bad.
Oh, yeah.
Boss. And I wanted to try to see if we could find a way to recreate that. And again, like I said, unfortunately, it took months to get Arkham in a state where it had that ability. We just ran out of time. So like my original Riddler idea was he was going to utilize the technologies of the other BATCRAFTers like Sid and Camo.
Oh yeah, he
and,
spied on Camo right away.
That's right. That's right.
Used those technologies in congruence with each other to distribute a virus that would affect the minds of people in BATCRAFT. So everyone would end up having their own little side story of where they're infected, and they have a target in mind and they commit a crime, but then they forget all about it. But while having committed that crime, they would leave clues that would then lead to where the items are.
Oh, that's so cool.
And getting their items back, they would get another clue to the bigger overarching big bad, which was the Riddler. Again, didn't work out. Instead, I made the escape room, and I hope whoever does that. I know Kyle's done it so far. Bo's planning on doing it. Snow helped me build it up. I hope you guys have fun. Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to do that. Yeah, I remember I had a very similar concept with OMAC, like with where I was going with the OMAC deal. But although mine was nowhere near as clever as yours, the mindset was that like everybody that had given netherite to Camo would, by doing so, be infected by the OMAC virus. And so that in the future, evil me would be able to activate them as, you know, like on my team. But then as things were going, and I knew that you had this kind of
so interesting.
well, I knew that
we could have your sleeper agents.
That well, there's just that things changed, and I think that as we kind of went along, the concept of the Court of Owls I thought was kind of a fun way to play around with a faction.
You fooled us.
Poor
fooled
Kyle.
me.
Poor Kyle.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. The Court of Owls was I wanted a faction war type of mindset that would ultimately end in everybody just turning on me, so that I could end up being that big bad and give a good conclusion there. And of course,
shot you with an arrow.
Well, so
to quickly rift off the Court of Owls thing.
Yeah.
I do love the idea that you brought in the idea of the turf war, where we would have our own banners and we'd claim things. Again, it's another one of those ideas that we just didn't
have
really
time
have
for.
the time to get in. Now, as far as the poor Kyle, Fox was a little too late on his warning. But because of that incident, we, the member of the Court of Owls, we actually ended up creating a 2-factor authentication process.
Wait,
tell me that. What?
Can you tell us about the incident?
Again.
Because I missed that part. Can you tell us about the incident that you're referring to and poor Kyle?
So what had happened was before everything like really went down, now Bo put in the mailbox of the members of the Court of Owls being like, the structure has been compromised, don't go there, and we need, like, the Court of Owls needs all your netherite and to go to Snow's Arkham base and put it there. And I'm like, okay, this sounds legit. Don't do it. I mean, do it, but don't go to the shrine. So I put all the 9 ingot pieces of netherite that I was able to mine in the nether, and I put it in there, and then later found out that it was Bo, and I was so upset.
It wasn't just me. That was a machination of Team Mount Zoom, or the Legion of Zoom.
We were all in.
It was me and Doc and Bo.
So it was it was the Mount Zoom that I was so upset with. That when the Court of Owls thing came along, I'm just like, all right, this I like where, like, having my character, the mayor, want to be on the not so good side, I guess, the chaotic neutral, if we're gonna go D&D terms, side of things. I really liked that part of where season 3 ended. But yeah, was not happy.
My personal favorite thing about the Court of Owls was actually the attempt to figure out, okay, who is the leader? Who is leading them? For the longest time, it was thought that I was the leader, and I'm like, guys,
I really did think it was you.
I'm not smart enough to even put any of this together.
yeah, and like
Give
with Fox
yourself
said, it's
some
like,
credit, Fox.
yeah. Well, I know Fox and I were like, no, it's got to be Knight. He's just stringing
It's
us
gotta be
along.
Knight, yeah.
because he's the richest person on the server.
Yes.
And then when Knight came back and he was like, no, it's not me. And then we were like, okay, well, it can't be Bo because Bo is a good guy. It
Yeah.
can't be Bell because Bell is not existent.
Oh, but I've got something on that part though.
We actually did think we were like, oh, maybe it is Bell.
No,
because
but
he
I-
hasn't
Coming
been
in
here.
at 3 a.m. when no one else is on.
As soon as y'all said that though, I went to Bell's plot in Arkham and made a Court of Owls symbol in the grass. Nobody saw that.
What?
I just didn't know that was
Wow.
Bell's plot. I did
Yeah.
see it. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. That
I was trying to add fuel to the Bell fire and to the Snow fire because Snow was yet
yeah.
unaffiliated.
Yes,
I noticed
Snow was
that
another one.
People thought that I heard that people thought it was me. I mean,
I love
just
that nobody
out
thought
of
it was
game
me.
proximity to things, I heard that people thought it was me. And then I saw the chest and the hoppers, and I was like, this is why tentacle thing.
You didn't start to question your own sanity, Snow, thinking that maybe it was you all along?
Maybe the Riddler. It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, my original thought was like, okay, it's either got to be Bo or it's got to be Will because it's totally theater kid the whole way through.
But yeah, we had a 2-factor authentication for Fox and Knight. It's like, okay, we have to sign a paper with these names that we picked out just in case this happened ever again. So if we did see that there was nothing on there, it's like that we know for sure.
And
don't
don't
do this.
don't forget the Discord authentication.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had an out of game authentication also?
Yeah. We had our own group chat.
That's probably valid at that point.
Yeah.
That was, I gotta say, that whole storyline was wild because like the trajectory of it changed so many times because I was trying to manage my team as Will kept on uncovering things he wasn't supposed to uncover yet. And
yeah, Will's good at that.
yes, and so that
It was a button. It was a button.
Well, so that's the
I was
thing.
doing
My whole
anything
goal with
unsavory.
this was trying to hide things in plain sight. Like that was my mindset. Was like that'll be why they never find it because it's so obvious. And that was dumb because it became very obvious and people found it. But
I was building statues and I was going to build Wayne statues. I'm like, wow, these are buttons. Let me push a few. What? That's a door. That's a door.
I do love the red herrings you set up, Bo. How you had originally the acceptance area for the
Yes.
Court of Owls where we drop things was
Right.
like in one of Will's streams. He's like, "This is right behind Vale and Co. It's got to
Yep.
be Vale."
Mhm.
And
I
then
did. I thought it was.
Then the temple that I built into the wall over by Wayne Manor, that's where you built the secret room. And then it further pointed fingers at me.
right. Exactly. I just didn't realize that other people were still using that spot. That's what ended up killing it. But the fun thing about all that was that it just required a lot of thinking on the feet. Will, for every problem that you created by finding things, you offered up like new amazing opportunities, which was really great. So it was kind of like a give and take type situation.
Yeah.
And it was nice because it allowed the opportunity to showcase a lot of those builds that I was doing more often than not on off camera, as opposed to the early on with the camo OMAC thing where with that, I built it off camera because I didn't want, I mean, y'all could kind of know it was me behind the scenes, obviously, but like I wanted to kind of be oblivious to it storyline wise, which means I'd created this entire room, created this entire game that I could never actually show on my own stream. And so, and on top of that too, I wanted y'all to find it organically. So I wasn't like trying to be like, hey, everybody should go check their mailbox so that the thing for camo is there. So it was really fun to kind of set things in the world like that up to be discovered. I think, to me anyway, that's a fun space to play in. But I did like the fact that since, Will, you did uncover everything so often and you were on my team, it allowed the fact that, we could actually showcase this on stream, which was great.
Well, your team officially, you had to. Dude, everybody was on your team. You were on both teams.
Except for Bell.
Except for Snow.
I was not. I
So,
specifically
okay.
told Bo, I am not aligned.
She first of all, yes, Snow expressed that she didn't want to be aligned. My original intent was for there to be also the team of heroes, and so my mindset was that Snow and Belle and honestly Kyle were going to kind of be more of like the heroic faction as well. So I wanted to kind of like increase like the amount of chaos around everything. You know, I should mention as well, Dr. Alien having early. Oh, this is another thing that almost messed me up. Dr. Alien, you had created a faux netherite throne that I accidentally found, and I was like, well, shoot, this is going to create paradoxical problems if present me who goes to the past sees this and isn't recognize this from now. And so therefore I was like, okay, well, you know what? I had this whole cybernetic implant. Now suddenly the cybernetic implant is protecting me from timeline malfunctions. So we're just going along with that.
Very timey-wimey.
But it was awesome because it meant that Dr. Alien was like an acolyte, a potential acolyte or betrayer or Starscream for, you know, the future or past evil me. And so it kind of, you could kind of create all these little things. But then Belle had hockey COVID for like 5 years. And then because Snow and Night were like, I knew that Snow and Night were talking, you know, IRL. I was like, well, how do I can't have her on the opposite side or on the same side because that's too powerful too. And so I was like, okay. And so I was like, let's just see where Snow falls in. But then you all gave me such a great gift by assuming that Snow was behind it all. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm just going to say it was Snow.
I thought for a while it was Snow. I'm like, okay, her and Valen live together. It's got to be her. All right, this is fine.
It was perfect. It worked out so very well.
I kind of liked that I was that people were suspicious and had absolutely nothing to do with it. What? Oh, people are suspicious of me doing a what?
So as far as that future timeline thing goes, I did, as far as Valenco was concerned, Knight was always obsessed with that little implant. So I had it in my mind that would be another like one of those time things where Valenco actually eventually invents the technology to create those implants.
That would have been fun to play with, yeah.
Like it would have been if we had ever gotten around to like the Arkham Asylum build, there would have been like an implantation center.
Ooh.
I mean, part of my thinking going forward shortly after, I was going to let the Riddler thing play out, but you guys kind of saw it at the end of the fight with Bo, is that because I went and got the Batman content, I was going to start jokering. I was waiting for Fox to finish Axis so that on a stream I would fall in, but I was going to be like a Joker who could switch back and forth and be kind of like, but I wanted to kind of move into the big bad after Bo got back. That was kind of my thinking, which was kind of why I switched to the Joker skin for a little bit to be like, this is coming. Okay, I'm gone now. But yeah, I was because I wanted to kind of see that going, you know, because I figured we had another year on the servers. So, you know, but I think this is good too.
I missed so much. It makes me sad.
We missed you.
Yeah, I got a promotion at my job about.
Hey, congratulations!
It was more like a battlefield commission where like my superior officer was like, you know, murdered, and they're like, here, you take the job.
You murdered your boss? Okay,
I didn't murder. Way to come clean on stream where everyone can see.
You live in Texas, Belle.
Oh wait.
It was self-defense, and I stand by that.
Belle, did you want to know what really happened to your boss?
But essentially, so my he was on the team. He was a senior on the team. They gave him the management position. He had it for about a year, and
fell down an elevator shaft.
Didn't want to do it anymore. Didn't want to do it anymore, and he left. And I should have been like, my old manager who like nearly had a nervous breakdown because of this position, they want to offer that to me, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I didn't see any like warning signs from that. So yeah, it's just been a whole lot of work, and it just really like wipes me out every day. So it's been hard to get on and play and like and think creatively, right? Like I can go on, I can stack bricks and stuff, but it's so hard to think of ways to to play off the storylines that we have going on and stuff, that it was just like, you know, I'm gonna come in when I can for like group events and stuff and play my Gandalf bit, or do my Rorschach bit where I just look down from the top of roofs and yell no. So I'll do these little bit parts where I can, but I didn't have the creative capacity. And
well, that's the thing. Like you would show up and you would like comedy gold instantly. Like I've let me establish a catchphrase, make it a thing, and then be like, all right, boys, that's it. I'm heading out.
It's okay because I've come back to you now at the turn of the tide.
That was a great entrance. Way to throw us off at the beginning of the stream by telling us that you had COVID. Yeah, that was good. That was a great entrance.
But I actually do have COVID. My wife caught it the other day, and I was like, it's cool. I haven't caught it yet. I have genetic immunity. I'll be fine. And then this morning, I've been having to work for like the last 2 weekends in a row. So I've worked like, I don't know.
Oh, I know that feeling.
15, 16 days straight. And I was thinking it was maybe just that. I'm just feeling that really hard. But I had like a fever this morning and stuff. My allergies are going so bad. That's why I'm like wiping my eyes. So everything is like coalescing into this giant super disease that I have seemed to have contracted. So
and now we all have it here.
And now, it's a digital disease. So,
well, Belle, I thank you for voting for me to keep me in power as mayor of.
Oh yeah, you came back to vote, didn't you?
Thanks, Bo, for making me that bad guy.
There was a lobbyist for.
That's right. Oh, that was we tried from so many different angles. Okay, so let me just say this because I think this. There's a tension between the like planned, discussed behind the scenes stories and things that happen organically. And I think we felt that a lot this season because so many of us had kind of our own little stories as well. And, you know, I think that there's a strong argument, and it's probably better to have planned to plan everything behind the scenes. But by not planning everything behind the scenes, it allows things to happen organically like this, where we can actively play the game. Yeah, where Belle can be like a major X factor, like come in and be a swing vote out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, and like that's the thing.
I will say, I got to give credit where credit is due. That was Night and Snow.
See, this is why I couldn't trust y'all on two opposite teams.
I have to tell you, Bo. I had no idea what she was planning on doing. I had contacted Belle on my own.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
well, there you
Snow
go.
is really good at keeping secrets. She's really good at hiding surprises. I'm good at keeping secrets, but I am terrible at surprises. Because I get too excited and I'm just like, I wanna let everyone know this thing is happening.
Yeah.
He'll get you a present and he'll be like, do you want it now? Do you want to know what it is? And it might be like December 10th. Do you want to open your Christmas present today?
Well, I tried throughout the season to give y'all a couple of surprises throughout the storyline. I think, and I'm surprised I got y'all with Camo being secretly OMAC.
Yeah.
That really surprised. When I figured it out, I was like, "Oh, you're an idiot."
I know some of y'all didn't.
Good in plain sight one though.
Yeah, so that was.
I had no clue on that one.
That was the thing. So when I was doing the project, at first when the game was that it was y'all were instructed to go or get message from Camo to go and collect netherite to feed this kind of subterranean Camo thing, and it was called Project R. I originally was going to call it Project Reverse, and I was like, no, that's too on the nose because it's already in plain sight. If you literally just reverse this, it's OMAC, and so that's putting it out there too much. And so I'm glad that I held back a little bit there because that was a fun one to do a big reveal of and have Camo launch as kind of like this OMAC satellite. The other one, of course, being the Court of Owls and everything else. I have to ask y'all this because the Legion or the League of Heroes, which my original plan was that everybody was going to be a hero except for Valen, who I had a feeling was trying to be a supervillain. Fox, because you were like your skin at the beginning of the season was like a villain from Batman Beyond. And so I was like, okay, Fox seems like he's got a villainous plotline going on.
That was a great mystery.
I tried so many different times, but there's so many things that I did not finish this season. Like I have half builds all over the server.
Oh, I've got at Arkham. I have the one free shop. I have a half build. Bo is like oh, that looks like Kyle's. Oh, I'm gonna throw up because of how it looks right now.
It was a lot of birch.
It's because of all the wood, and I'm like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no.
Well, and so then Dr. Alien, but then I found Dr. Alien keeping a secret netherite throne underneath his base. I'm like, okay, well, hold up. Like, I think he's doing something villainous right here. And then Will was even going to be part of the League of Heroes until he started competing so aggressively with me and with Wilmart. And I was like, so payback from season 2, my friend. I was like, nope.
And that's just it. My game plan when I came over, and I would say this in my streams, I said this to you guys. I was like, I will get the village, right? The village. I was like, I called it. It's like, I want those villagers. I started making the villager farm and building the iron farm. I was like, if I can get books and iron, golden. And that's what happened. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell books. And you started selling books, and your books were expensive. I was like, I'm just going to do them for one. And I was not trying to undersell you so much as it was just, no, I'm just doing for one. I've got tons of villagers.
Whatever, man. You undercut me. Like you called your business Wilmart. You knew what you were doing.
You're the mom and pop.
All the while,
it was a
Valenco
fantastic.
secretly sat back, already selling all the goods.
Oh no, Valenco cleaned up
Well, I
this
mean-
season.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I want to say for Valenco, I think his main customer was me, trying to make that one diamond off of his powdered concrete. Like, I was trying to offer a convenience. I was trying to offer, hey, well, why would I want to buy this powdered concrete and put the time in actually making it solid when I can just pay an extra diamond? And it worked for a little while. It honestly did, until Will was like, hey, well, who cares? You've got this long stretch. You can make concrete pretty quickly. So
Yeah, to be
my
fair, that
concrete
was
sales slowed.
I bought from
I
you,
didn't
Fox,
mean
a
to
couple
do that. I was
times.
just like, yeah. I just found a thing that did it. I was like, that's literally, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
done it.
I wanted to ask y'all this though. Did y'all find who found the secret entrance to the League of Heroes, and how did you find it?
The original one.
Yeah, the original one in in Gotham.
So
Wasn't
that would
that Dr. Alien?
No, that wasn't me. I
was
found the
probably
window
Will.
and put the stash out.
No,
there,
actually,
but-
I found it. I saw the window. And I saw the fire with a block behind it. So I was like, okay, well, this is my Y coordinate, but I could never really figure out how exactly to get down to there. And then I think you had a door or something with like the thing, but then I was like, oh, maybe if I threw the ender pearl, but I never really got in there until somebody else did. So I was like,
I know I got in there via the ender pearl trick through the corners, because one of the glass pieces was just under, so there was like that little corner, that little lip, and I could just go right in.
So y'all never actually found the official entrance.
Never found the official entrance.
I was never
Well,
looking
okay,
for it, so
I
it wasn't a thing for me.
I thought that one of you guys found it. I made it down to the official entrance, but could not figure out how to get through there without breaking a block and not realizing, oh yeah, ender pearl. I actually utilized the same method in the mansion that I built in Arkham. There's a fireplace, and right behind the fireplace, there's 2 water elevators.
There you go.
right. I found it like you had like a doorway or something going down to the netherite portal, but I thought it was well after you guys did it.
So the original, we had this idea of we were going to put the secret entrance behind Fox's shop. Again, throwing off like, well, that won't look around Fox's stuff because he's not a member of the team. And then I remember, I think I got the message from Snow, like red alert, Fox is extending his shop. And it was like right over the area. Do y'all remember that? Like right where we were going to put the secret entrance. And so it's like, oh no, how do we like distract him, like keep him from expanding at least long enough so we could like fill in the entrance and create a new one. And so ultimately I ended up creating it so that it's in the lot sign at, which is on the nose, but I guess, at that point, but you would drop
With
down
a button,
into
you
the
hit
lot
it with
sign.
a button, a very conspicuous button just right there. Why is there a
Wait, I
button?
missed there's a button at the lot sign?
No, it's not a button. Now it's just like literally the lot sign. If you go over there, you can drop down between the
There's a
letters.
hole.
There's a hole.
Oh.
And if you go through there,
I missed
It
that.
looks scary though, so you don't want to drop in there.
wow. So okay, so I feel pretty good about this. So y'all never figured that out. Okay, that's good. But yeah, you'd go through there, and the idea was that even if you found your way through all the way, it would just give you that hole where you referred to earlier, where the fire was showing, and so you'd have to throw an ender pearl right in the middle of that hole through the fire, and you would land on the desk in the room.
Right.
All right, cool. Well, I was just kind of curious who found that and who didn't.
That makes me wonder. I would throw this out to everybody. What is something that you really are just really proud of that you built? Whether it was just something that you built that you really loved, or because people responded to it, or for whatever reason, something like that. Whether it has a secret entrance or just you thought it looked cool or anything.
Well, I guess I'll jump in here. My two favorite builds that I had the full control over. Well, I don't want to say full control because Kyle helped me with the Brainiac skull. That was a huge, massive win in my column because I've never sculpted a build.
That was huge.
It's always been, okay, 4 corners and a roof. It's never been something that has those divots and a facial feature. Huge for me. That was one of my favorite builds in season 2, but for all-time builds was my treehouse in the very first season, and seeing all the love that it got, coming in, literally playing Minecraft for 2 weeks at that point.
Wait, you built that after 2 weeks of experience?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm not joking. Natural talent.
I quit.
Right there.
Wow.
On my phone. So
On your phone?
It was on his phone.
This is
Nice.
So, having that
I commit
love-
my entire life to this, and he does it in one day.
On his phone.
So,
Fox built this
yeah.
with a ton of scraps with a phone.
So yeah, those are my 2 favorite builds of all the secret tunnels, of all the secret hidden things in my builds. Those 2 stand out for me the entire series.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I mean, I pretty much had the most, I think, to do with the cave. You guys,
Yes,
a lot of
that was
people worked
really
their
good.
tail end off on Wayne Manor, and I didn't get to do that much because of where I was in my career and stuff. But then time lined up, and I'm like, well, we need a cave. So doing the Bat Cave and being the one to kind of have the idea for that, I felt really kind of empowered with that. But I think also I will always have a deep, abiding love for X Mansion in season 2. Like I thought that was
cool.
as close as you can get to almost comic accurate. You know, all the secret entrances and the danger room and the Cerebro and the doors and I loved all of that. But I don't think there's been a build I haven't been at least somewhat proud of. I mean, you know, the JLA satellite in the City of Heroes. You know, so.
Oh, I want to add to this. So Fox and Will, since you guys already kind of started, I'm also curious, not only what are you really proud of and excited that you had built, but is something that someone else built that you like just really
That's a
love.
good one.
So
New
you
York
guys
Town.
already went. What's that?
New York Town.
No, I agree with that one.
Bo,
totally.
I
Bo is
agree.
inspirational. I was like, I wasn't going to build a full city until Bo did it, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to be next to him, I better do something.
one of my half jobs that's on the server was seeing New York Town spring up and Will's base spring up with these huge cities. I was going to do a cyberpunk city out in the middle of nowhere, and I never got enough time to actually clear the land. So I have all of these designs saved like on Pinterest and stuff, but never actually building a single one of them.
Oh,
For someday.
Yeah.
Valen Co. would like to take this opportunity to thank Fox for all his efforts and work on Arkham.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It
agree
sounds like
with
Valen
Will
Co.
for
spent
sure.
those diamonds as if you had built it, even though. Sorry, Doc. Sorry, Doc. Go ahead.
No worries. No, I was just gonna say, as far as favorite builds, I also agree. New York Town, it's got to be my all-time favorite from all the builds I've seen from the series that I've watched and participated in that regard. And being able to come in interior decorate the one
Yes.
apartment. That was fun for me. But
Thank you.
I do have two of my own favorite builds, and the spaceship from when I joined season 2 of Flashcraft. I came in as an interdimensional being. Okay, like I hadn't even thought of anything when I went to start up doing this. I'm going, okay, this is what I've been doing on my own channel, but I've never really thought of how do I get around to these interdimensional places. So I was like, okay, spaceship. And then the Brainiac fight was being teased, and I said, okay, force field.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that whole base came about, and it was one of my first intricate builds. And I hate to tell you guys, but like Fox, I was only playing Minecraft for about a month when I did that.
What?
And then we had the What If series, and then
Right.
I built the tower, and that was fun. But what I really did when we were doing the Hide in the Thrones thing, and this was like where I hid the Netherite throne the first time that I had it as an individual was in a cave near my tower base, but I had landscaped a park right around in front of it that was just a combination of custom trees, regular trees. I put flowers in. There was a park bench there. It was very much like the park I did for the Greener Gotham group line that Knight was doing. And that was my first in on landscaping. So that was also like, but my real favorite one is that, and you saw this one up close, Bo, the Wizard Tower at my castle.
I was about to say that was really nice. Yeah.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, no, that honestly, your castle as a whole, like that whole sequence that you have, I know that Will and I went very modern with kind of our layouts of our like cities and towns, but you had like a whole medieval town on a hill, which was super impressive.
Yeah, that one, it was an idea I'd always had in the back of my head, and I'd never found a good place to do it in any of the worlds that I've created solo or whatnot. And then I was flying back and forth between where my starter is near Knight's base and Gotham to get something, and I happened to pass this cliff, so I whipped around, went and looked at it, and okay, this is cool to start a castle. And then I happened to find like 100 blocks away a village that I could just bring the villagers in from, and it just worked out. So that became my main base, and that's why you got the village on the hill, like, and that's one of my overall favorites. But that Wizard Tower with the cleric up at the top, that's my favorite piece of everything I've done this season.
Yeah, I gotta say that when I think about like favorite builds, I mean, like I know it's been a minute, but it like cast your mind back to corporate Gotham and Valenco's like construction. Like that was an entire scene. Like that was next level stuff that Knight was doing, where you would go.
And everything?
Yeah, there was like construction crews. There were like vehicles there. Everything was laid out. You saw like literally everything being built. It wasn't just him building a Minecraft build. It was a team in Minecraft, a building itself, so to speak. And it was so incredibly good. And then Fox, when you kind of mixed it in as well with like the star, blasting out in front of Star Labs, and then particles starting to go into that, the way in which the narrative that y'all used builds to tell a story made it so fun for all of us to like jump in and see what was going on. Fast forward ahead, Snow, you did the same thing with your tentacle bursting forth in Arkham. And like, I think one of the things I regret the most is that because of the way that I was recording content at the time, I couldn't really showcase that the way I wish I could have, because y'all, it was incredible. Like you would go through and you would see something breaking apart, and then something coming forward, and then it coming in, and then literally grabbing a street lamp and wrapping around it that was right there. And so like y'all really did some incredible stuff with y'all's builds. I think that's definitely some of my favorites, probably top favorites for the series as a whole. Of my own stuff, thank y'all so much for the new New York Town shout outs. Honestly, like the city as a whole, I'm very proud of. It's going to seem kind of small by comparison, but I really think one of the things I found the most joy in creating was the trolleys. Like it's so small by comparison to the scale of everything else, but finding a design and then tweaking it so that it was like functional, that you could actually get on it and like, zoom off and everything else, and using the trolley system as kind of a transportation thing was something I very much enjoyed. And then once I kind of figured out how to kind of, once I had that kind of baseline kind of core functionality or layout to kind of tweak the art and the color scheme to match more of like that olive New Orleans style as well. I just had a lot of fun with those. So I think that'd probably be the favorite of my own
And it's what
personal
inspired
builds.
the airport. Your trolleys, like I was like when I was designing the airport, I was looking at your trolley station and trying to be like, okay, what would, this kind of fit the overall general, aspect of mass transit in Gotham. Like, and again, New Yorktown made me step up my game because I'm like, I am right next to him.
Well, it was great having the Twin Cities next to each other, I must say.
Yes.
I'm not much of a builder, as some of you know. All my designs are very blocky. They're very square, and I do not. I'm okay with that. I dabbled in Minecraft before coming into Flashcraft and BATCRAFT, but I always watched Achievement Hunter do their Let's Play on Minecraft, and that's why in front of all of my main bases is a sorry if this is not it's a Tower of Pimps. Is the netherite block plus the 4 gold. It's like an homage to them.
Oh, very cool.
But Minecraft doesn't allow me to say Tower of Pimps. But it'll say Tower of Achievement. Right. So that's my ode to them. So yeah, I'm not much of a designing builder. It's very blocky, but Q Consolidated is probably my favorite build that I've done. It's with all the levels that I never got to finish putting stuff in there, but having the top was going to be like one of my main bases for the season. And then I mean we've got Arkham, we've got Wayne Manor, we got the Batcave, we've got New Yorktown, Central or Coast City, all those builds, Doc's Castle, which I've flown by multiple times, and I'm just like, I wish I had more time and just the focus to be like, I need to step up my game and do something with my little area. But and the like Club Verdant in Arkham was going to have the bunker down below it, but sadly it won't see the light of day right now.
But it can, Kyle. You'll have the map.
I will have
That's
the map.
right.
So yeah, so that's mine.
So for me, I would have to say, out of all of the builds everyone has done, the one thing I remember originally coming onto the server for the first time and immediately getting lost and having to go into the Discord and asking, hey, what are the coordinates for spawn? And then coming back and finding spawn from the direction I came, the first thing I saw was Star Labs. And at the time it was closed because you guys were doing setting it up for the Star Lab Museum.
Right.
So I kept coming back to Star Labs over and over and over again just to see the progress you guys did. Bell's little thing, and then Dr. Alien's mining outpost, and all of the books and things being added in, the slime farm thing, right. All of those little things in there, just telling the story of like how that season went, essentially. Like even the anvil floating over the armor stand.
Right, that was great.
I was like, I'm in love with this place. You guys did great work on that, and I really appreciated that build. I think out of all of the things, I really like a lot of the stuff where people come together to just the teamwork that comes together and out of those kinds of things. Now, as far as my personal stuff, there's a lot I could say, but like 3 things come to mind. The pagoda.
Yes.
Was really fun. Building that took a long time. Unfortunately, because of work and business and personal stuff, I don't always get I have a level of competence, and then I have a level of ambition, and my ambition for things is always way too high. The time I have to put into things. But like the pagoda, I love the fact that while everyone was looking for that netherite throne, it was just right there in everybody's face. You had to fight Doc, you had to fight Snow, and then the final challenger, me. Congratulations, Phil. But like things like that, the fireworks display that both
that was such a
Fire and
great
Ice and
moment.
Valenco put on. I really appreciated the fact that everyone liked that. The what was the murder mystery party, things like that. I really enjoy those kinds of things.
Yeah, there's so many great moments like that, throughout. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to share about the builds, but I do want to just make mention that, like, those moments that were created, especially the fireworks show, was really very special. The Christmas tree popping up was awesome, with kind of the gift exchange, the Easter egg hunts, like little things like that we did throughout. I think was just so much fun and so very special. Snow, what about what is your favorite build that you did, and then also kind of favorite from around the realm?
I think I have to say, I don't know that I had a favorite build that I did. Actually, no. I think it would have been the tentacle, because everything else I was just like, I don't know, let's put this together. And kind of the way that you were talking about something earlier about how you were talking about the secret things that you built off camera to have people discover. Right. I didn't know if anyone was going to notice, but it was just this idea that I just really loved, and I didn't know if anyone was going to notice it. And then I decided, well, I'll put it next to the portal, and people will come in and out, and maybe they'll notice it. And then since we live next door to each other here in this little apartment, and he had the really sweet idea of taking a picture of it. So he took a picture of it each day that I made a change. So that was fun for me to see that. And I was just imagining and hoping that someone would have the experience that you described, Bo, like walking by and seeing this little thing in the ground saying, oh, what's that? And it was fun to see a couple of you guys in your videos, like walking by and saying, oh, what is that? And then going on. I really just liked, even if someone just noticed for a second, like, huh. And then seeing that something else was growing. So I really enjoyed that. And I imagining people might see it, and then also seeing some of your reactions. So that was really fun. I think I have to agree with Knight that one of the things that got me excited about joining you all was the Star Labs. You should have heard me the first time we both got on Earth 2 together, and I was like, look at this! Just running around at all of the different things that you had built, and I really loved that kind of feeling that you all built Star Labs together, and then that each of you had a little room that kind of reflected you and your experience. That was really nice, and it also made me think, yeah, we're in a good place with some folks that this will be a fun experience. And I think that probably was my favorite. I hadn't thought of that far back, but as Knight was talking about that, I'm recalling just how it was when I would go online on the realm. I really enjoyed that too. Belle, I think we haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah. I think as far as like my favorites that other people built, New York Town for sure. And Knight, like that skyscraper, your build, just like Bo was saying, how you're using the build to tell the story about the build. Incredible. Absolutely brilliant. The construction girders coming up as you would build part of it, just genius. I loved it. I thought that was fantastic. As far as like my favorite ones, I got really good at making domes and circles.
Yes.
with all the Star Lab stuff.
Yes.
I really liked with Star Labs and with the Legion of Doom, just these big because it's daunting when you look at like, okay, there's like 317 layers that I have to build of this dome, and as you start working on it, you're like, this is going to take forever. But like as you just see it kind of complete, and you and it, you know, you finish it and you fly away and you look at it, and it's just this perfect looking half sphere in a world like Minecraft where you don't have spheres; they just don't exist. I always thought that was really cool, and I really liked that. The face on the outside, not so much. Because it was just harder to do that than I thought it would be.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that face.
It was not the best.
We
but
all struggled with that. We're like,
I thought it would be something simple, but it was not. It was not like trying. So that's another thing too, is like trying to build that structure on the curved surface and make it look right. Just it was beyond me. But yeah, I like doing the circles and whatnot on Star Labs, the domes. I like building. I think I made the first gold farm on Earth 2. It was one of the giant portal-based gold farms. I had a lot of fun with that one and a lot of scary times because sometimes the pigs would go through the portal, and when I went into my nether base, there'd be hundreds.
and they're looking for you.
Yeah. But yeah,
let me tell you what the scary part is accidentally going through your portal in the nether and winding up in your gold farm. Because I think all of us at one time have done that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we hadn't quite got portal linking down properly.
No.
Yet, so
Excuse me, I have.
I had it fine too. I got all my stuff linked, and then all of a sudden, Box is like, "Why am I in your base and why am I dead with all these piglets everywhere?"
It was nightmare inducing. That's right.
I'm pretty proud of the portal, like to Coast City, because I think I have 6 portals within probably 10 blocks of each other.
You do.
I managed to link them so that they all go where exactly I want them. Now, going back to the Nether, they don't link. But at least when you go from the Nether to Coast City, it goes where I wanted you to go. That took so much work of math and like sitting there and using the portal website that tells you like where to put it. And I'm like, well, I got to get kind of close. And the fact is, the problem is we chose a seed that is so high that normally we'd be okay if we were in a lower seed. But because we're so high, because the Nether doesn't have that height, everything's wacky. So you'd be trying to build in Coast City, and it's like it wants you to build it at 66, and we can only build at 100 because
elevation high. I thought it was like the seed number was so high. What is that?
No, it's just the elevation of where we are. Like Coast City, both me, I don't know if Bo had to deal with too much. You were about 30 or 40 below me. Yeah. But where I had chosen the city I chose, I'm sitting at about 100. Like, and so trying to link portals and then trying to link the satellite portal back to the Nether was where I got into problems because the satellite's sitting at like 220. So, I mean, I think the seed would be like one of those things that we thought was going to be better than it was. But given how mountainous it was and how hard it was to build a city, and then we have to clear so much land in Arkham and things like that, I think if we were going to have an Earth 4, I'd be like, let's look for a somewhat flattish 0-0. And,
we had several options. Minecraft kept on swapping it up on us. Yeah, but yeah.
We can also build like mountain towns.
Yes.
So we talked about. Did I get to looking at everyone? I think we got everyone to talk about the builds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that we had touched on a little bit of some of the things like the Court of Owls and the League of Assassins and other things like that. So, but one thing I wanted to ask everyone also was looking back, whether it's this season or prior seasons, just one or two of your favorite, moments or interactions that we all shared, or just different kind of things that happened with other people. And I know it was also mentioned the 4th of July fireworks. That, like, for me, I'm really glad to hear people say that they like that, because those are little things that I thought would be fun. And I thought, well, this is kind of silly. Maybe people won't want to do it. So I'm glad that you guys enjoyed that too, because for me, it's fun to do that kind of real life celebration and interaction that I really love and bring it into that world.
I enjoyed the what if scenario and the throne hunts, because it allowed it did allow the PvP aspect of Minecraft to happen, and with at the time my girlfriend was on, or my ex was on the realm for Earth 2, so I was able to utilize her builds and her road to from her base to my base to put into my secret area. Thank you, Will, for that part too as well. But yeah, no, I really liked having the throne battle and the PvP and all that. It's going to sound bad, but it was like a breath of fresh air for us, because it was very like, oh, it's build, but it's like, no, we can have fights within reason in Minecraft, and like get each other's stuff. I think we could. I don't remember.
So fights without griefing. I think was kind of the mindset.
I appreciate Will, because during the whole. I appreciate you, Will.
Sorry, Cincinnati just scored against Buffalo. My bad. Go on.
Oh, I was like.
I'm glad we started early, because the Cowboys game isn't for a couple hours.
During the whole throne hunt, it seemed a lot like it was just back and forth between me and Will. I'd get it, he'd get it, I'd get it, he'd get it. And between the two of us, allowing others to take that. So, like, if I'd find it, be like, all right, who among the Fans Alliance wants to have it this time? And then Will going, all right, well, this is I think it was like your fourth time with it. You're like,
yeah, it was pretty much like, I'm going to put this someplace.
Yeah, it's like, okay, here, Kyle, it's your turn. Or here,
yeah.
Fans for life.
Yeah. For me, I loved the throne fight at the end of Earth 2. I was kind of hoping we'd do something similar with this, which is one of the reasons I had all the netherite. I thought that was because, I mean, what it also did was, I mean, it made us kind of start rethinking how we played the game a little bit. Like, we all got to use, I think we all had secondary bases nobody knew about. The first time I hit it in a secondary base that I had shown one time, and Bo was like right on top of it when he was going to look for it. And I'm like, oh dear. And I was like, but it was so many cool different ways to kind of to do what we wanted to do, that I really loved that. I thought that was like such a great way to kind of step up our games as far as building and as far as that sort of stuff. So
yeah, I like the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree was great. That was super cool as well. The little presents and everything for everybody. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I still have my telescope from Fox.
Me too. I think it's framed in my office. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. I like that. This is another thing that happened a lot, that someone would have an idea and then somebody else would do something else with it and it'd go somewhere else. Because I just thought, well, it'd be fun to have a Christmas tree, and then everyone started and people were giving gifts to each other, and yeah, that was really neat to see how that worked out too.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is Night, when you were not Deadpool, Deathstroke. When you were Deathstroke and we had the rocket battle, and in my build, that was epic. That was awesome. I love that you added that to your arena. Oh yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah. It really made me want to like, man, New Yorktown would be like an awesome PvP battle. So it was pretty sweet. That was a lot of fun. The Fans Alliance in general was like that was such when y'all came out the gate swinging with that. That was epic.
Boy, did you.
Yeah, just the whole gamification of okay, we're gonna tier this out and build up to a boss battle and everything else. That was so much fun. The what if series as a whole, that was great. That was just we're stuck in between updates. What do we do? And it's well, this allows us to do, to break the rules that we'd kind of set for our world and kind of try some things. And that was it was a lot of fun. And it was also kind of a nice way for all of us with kind of the full new team to get to know each other in more of a casual, laid back, we're all trying to kill each other. Right? We're all trying to rob each other. So that made it a lot of fun. I really like that we got a chance to rebuild Star Labs. I liked that, the way that Flashcraft 1 and 2 like kind of bookended each other like that was really nice because we were able to kind of fix some of the flaws with the first design. And then also I forget sometimes just how large that build was. Like it was a big build. And I mean, you know, I know Knight has redefined our you know definition of what a big build is with Arkham and everything, but like it was quite huge. And I even remember like feeling like once we got done with it and it was like big and empty, it was like, okay, yeah, turning this into a museum is the right way to do it because it really does allow us to fill up that space. And so I think seeing that come together was a really big one. Defeating Fox was a lot of fun, and the Wither fight, as laggy as that was great.
I can put a confession out there, Bo, by the way.
What's up?
Earth 2 with the Wither that went and destroyed Bo's base.
Yeah.
I might have been the one it was chasing, and I might have kept going back to have it chase me more. And
Wow.
And then go back and have it go more.
Wow. Wow. It's okay.
That might have been me.
It's all right. I've forged signatures that created a system that created me being the entire supreme leader of the entire Earth. So,
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of even. So yeah, so a lot of I think those were some big ones for me for sure.
I remember going out to Bo's base with Snow to get the throne because we were like, all right, we are the earliest. We're like right at the time that it's available. Let's go get it.
That's Mount Zoom, right?
There, and it blew up the UFO. It blew up Mount Zoom. It was just, it kept killing us. I don't know what was, that Wither was like supercharged, man.
It kept killing me.
When I build
I
them,
kept
I build them,
dying,
right?
and then I would go back and make it follow me.
Well, and the great thing was, I don't think that ruined. We did have to kind of roll the server back, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, because it blew up the throne.
Right. Is there footage of this anywhere? Because I would love to see it.
I did not record it. I was like, I'm gonna get busted for this.
That's too bad.
But
you guys
I would
knew.
like
I mean,
to
that's a will
speak
move.
on what I've enjoyed about this whole entire experience with you guys is the camaraderie. I don't even know how to English, but the hey, I need help with this type aspect of anything that anyone was taking on. Like you brought up earlier about the Star Labs. I had the huge map that I had.
Yeah, you did.
I had my custom Fox art that I had needed help with. I mean, I had the skull that I needed help with. And anyone and everyone was like, hey, you need help, just let us know. We've got you. We can help you out with this. And that's how we all were with all of our builds, even not team builds. So I really appreciated that, having a sense of community with all of you guys helping.
That's great.
Yeah, that was always a real fun thing to me, was just the way everybody was always there and, supportive and helpful, like, hey, we need the quartz race, for the Hall of Justice, right? Like, we kind of gamified it, right? Where, we would, give rewards and stuff, but it was always, a community. And that was just a lot of fun, the community aspect of it. Yeah.
Well, on a more solemn note, now that this is all coming to a close, I hope all of you won't be a stranger. Keep in touch.
Oh, no.
I do have my friend's Discord server, so you guys are all welcome to pop over there.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're not.
That's
I don't think we're going to
casual
close.
stuff.
I don't think we're going to close Flashcraft server like the Discord, are we?
I think,
No.
and I think somebody's going to take either Doc or I are going to take the map when Bo gives it to us, and either I'll throw it on my realm or he's going to throw it on his. Both of us have our own realms. I mean, and we could reset even. I think Doc has a great idea for role playing.
Reset the end.
I'm still pulling all kinds of the lights out of the end, man.
Yeah, you're 500,000 yards out in the end, but yeah, you're pulling it out. Yeah.
No, the end doesn't need to be reset.
No, we're fine.
Come on, how else am I going to sell them for 5 diamonds in each to Kyle for him to resell them for to everybody else?
Actually, I have to revise my answer. My favorite time on any of the servers was when me, Bell, and Kyle decided that we had to
Yes,
stop Bo
yes.
and his monopoly on the Elytra.
Yes. That stream was fantastic. I think it was a 3-hour stream with just the three of us.
I lost most of my netherite because it was in
Yeah.
a black shelter.
Yep.
You had it on you. You had
Yeah, I know.
That was great.
and you just fall down. And,
No,
and,
no,
and
I
you're like,
accidentally dropped it.
oh, you
actually-
did.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could not live with your own failure. And where did that find you?
And we went to the end just to get Elytra, and we streamed it because we were all saying the same thing. Bo's ridiculous. 20 diamond blocks for a freaking Elytra.
No. It was 10 netherite blocks. Get it right,
Oh, that's
okay?
right.
Like it was very, very reasonable.
That
This does
stream is
remind
on
me
my
of something
YouTube
that I
channel,
gotta
by
make
the way.
mention of. Because y'all all are amazing streamers, make such crazy content, and it's wonderful. I don't get the opportunity to enjoy y'all streams all that much. But I do remember one moment that defined everything, like the moment where I kind of pulled the mask off in season 2. I just so happened to jump on Will's stream right after we had all done a group stream, and Will revealed that he thought that I was behind both teams, and Will and Kyle went to my base to start looking for my lair, my secret lair inside my lair that had all the things. And I'm sitting there watching, like, are they going to find it? Are they going to find it? He walked by it so many times. And I was like, I need to all right, this is when I need to pull the mask off. Because I want to affirm Will that, yes, you are correct. I did have a secret plan and a secret layer, but I also wanted to wave it in your face and you walked past it so many times. That was great.
We were talking, since we're talking about what might be happening now, and you guys, we've been chatting for a really long time.
Really long
I've been
time,
really
yes.
enjoying this, but I know
Coming
some
up on
people
2
might need
hours.
to go. But so what? One of the things I want to say is, Fox brought up the camaraderie. Everyone's all laughing here. I feel like you guys are my friends.
Likewise.
Even though,
Yeah.
some ways this is the first time you're seeing my face ever. But
You'll send me a Christmas card. Come on, of course we're friends. It's a fantastic Christmas card.
I plan to hit you guys up to borrow $200, man. I consider you friends.
And I will come up with a great excuse as to why I can't give it to you. It's perfect. But so I really hope that we do, and I'm definitely not going to be in charge of it. One of the fun things about being casual is watching you guys argue about things like resetting the end, and which I have no dog in that fight at all. So I just sit back and eat popcorn. So I'm sure we'll figure that part out offline.
Right.
But I do hope that we can continue, and those of you who might not want have the capacity to the bandwidth, I guess, to dive in like you had been, I hope everybody is still welcome and will still pop in from time to time in whatever form our next world takes or continuation.
Well, I just want to say, just to echo what has already been said here, just the camaraderie has been amazing. Y'all have been an amazing group of creatives and creators to work with. We've gotten to know each other. We've gotten to become friends in such a unique way. This, as I mentioned at the top of this whole project started at a time when the world was at its lowest in our lifetimes. And to be able to literally build something together with y'all has been incredible. I want to encourage y'all. I know I've made mention privately, but I'll make mention here. I'm taking a step back from being in charge of what this has been, and however wherever the chips fall, whoever is going to be managing it from forward, I think that's going to be great. And I would actually very much love to still be kind of a background contributor. I'm taking more of a mindset in this coming year that not everything has to be content, right? And it's that's from a personal standpoint. And so if I do contribute, it won't be on YouTube or anything like that. It would just be literally to hang out with y'all and pop on from time to time. And so I won't be trying to take over the world. I know that's difficult to hear.
If you were going to take over the world, to be fair, if you were going to take over the world, that's what you'd say.
Well, there's a good point. That is, Knowing me, that's a very good point there, Will. But no, that's but for real though, I can't thank y'all enough for being part of this and being so amazing, and just being willing to just to play together. I think it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do have one final question though. Knight, I have to know how many diamonds you have or had.
Oh, that's
like I thought I had a lot of diamonds, and then I see your store just killing it every day, and I'm like, okay, he's got to have just blocks and blocks and blocks of diamonds. So do you have a count? Do you know how many you had?
I have about 2.5 stacks of diamond blocks, and about a third of a stack of diamonds loose change. And I don't know how much is in my mailbox or in Arkham or my stores.
Does that
I
include
actually
diamond
have
ore?
2 stacks of diamonds.
So at my height, I had the same before I gave away a large part of that in the in the end game.
Right.
I do want to keep it point out that
Hey.
I was paying both Bo and Will quite a bit, or not Will, Fox quite a bit for flattening Arkham. I think it was like 10 diamond blocks for 30 shulkers worth of.
It was good money because like Minecraft grind you could do in the background at work, and it was like, yeah, no, let me just grind this out while I'm working. This is awesome.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
I
Fox
took
comes out
advantage
with
of that. Yeah, I think I've maxed those shulkers out 3 or 4 times. So
Oh, yeah.
I was
Oh, yeah.
making hand over fist diamonds, and then I would spend them all at gambling them away and trying to. Yeah, thanks, Bo. I have a gambling addiction.
Oh no! Oh no! That's so.
Bring out people's
Oh.
personalities with that.
I'm sorry to say, Fox, that if this season had continued on, Amazement Mile would have been eventually completed, and there would have probably been many other booths you could have spent your diamonds
I
on.
would have had 2 shiny diamonds to my name just to rub together.
Apparently, owning a casino is very lucrative. Who knew? But
Or I'm opening a casino.
So
Y'all-
is there anything else anybody else wants to say before we in these
Well,
last
I
few
mean,
moments here?
I'd love to have everybody kind of, if they are doing content or whatever. I know Kyle started a thing, and
Sure.
Bo, you've got the pirate stuff. I think
Wow.
definitely shout out your stuffs.
Well, unfortunately, the pirate stuff didn't get funded, so that's not happening anytime
Oh.
soon. But yeah, no. I've got at least one kind of major project that I'm really trying to pour a lot of resources into for this coming year, but it won't be online. It'll be more theatrical and in person here in the Houston area.
Oh, cool.
So there'll be more to come from that. I'll just mention, if you want to follow me, I'm Incognito on Instagram. I don't normally promote that out, so this is one of the rare places and times I'll make mention that does exist. So you can follow me there.
I'm there, Bo. I don't know if you recognize me, but I'm there.
Oh, I've seen you.
In terms of personal stuff, I'm doing Twitch here and there, twitch.tv/KKKrause89. All the Twitch streams will be on my YouTube at KyleKrause89. But my main podcast now is Atomic Geekdom, where we talk everything nerdy from the end of the Arrowverse to the future of that. We are also doing toy unboxings, and I have had the really good pleasure of diving into editing videos. It's something that I started to do last year for the 48-hour film festival, and now it's just that kick of doing videos. Actually, before we were doing this, I was editing a video as well. So so basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday we have tour reviews. I have 2 videos up there. And you can find those at Atomic Geekdom wherever you want to, like Twitch or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. It's all there. All my work is there. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that.
And I'll totally brought up everybody should pimp their stuff, because I'm totally doing a rebranding. So I'm moving away from Magic content. I have started a new enterprise called the Old Man Gamer. So I'm playing Marvel Snap like once a week on Twitch, and then Thursday night I'm going to be doing other games either with my son, or I might do some Minecraft. When we get the realm up and running, I'll feature it there. But it's just like, I'm a 49-year-old dude playing video games, and I think that's funny. So that's just what I'm doing. So Twitch.tv/ actually the best one is youtube.com/drcasualomg.
So, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
3 people going at once. Okay, so what we got here, I'm very easy to find just on YouTube and Twitter at Dr. Alien 201. It's all I am currently working on. I've got some plans for doing a single player world for a little while and doing hopefully some stuff on whatever realm we get kicked on here and going. Twitter, all that stuff goes up, and that's really about it. Since like everybody else this year, financial situations and jobs change, so I don't have the time that I used to either. So, but I still got a couple videos coming out for BATCRAFT. One tomorrow and recording time, and one a couple weeks right around the time the realm's gonna shut down for BATCRAFT. So there's still 2 more of those coming out from me.
Cool. I got one more season of The Flash. I'm hoping Bo and I are doing that. We got we've done a podcast for 10 years now on The Flash, just about. And so I'm sure we're gonna do the last season, and then after that, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what I have time and capability of doing. But yeah, I'm at Ring That Bell, BEALL on Twitter, and that's if I do anything, that's where I'll probably put it. I don't post very much because I'm more of a lurker, but and yeah, I would very much like to participate in any sort of Minecraft stuff that you guys put on. Just to kind of pop in and look down from the rooftops and whisper, no.
I am Night Valen at the Valen, both on YouTube and Twitch, or not Twitch. I am on Twitch, but I don't stream on Twitch. Twitter is what I meant to say. I will be putting a pin or a pause on any YouTube content, but that seems to be the time when my channel starts to blow up. Whenever I stop doing stuff is when people come and start viewing things, and all of a sudden I'm back up to like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, and I'm like, why? That's
Fox. I'm Fox. You can find me mostly in my office, nowhere online. Yeah, that's basically me. But I want to offer up to all the guys that are putting out streams and edits of this. If you guys need pictures from or snaps from old seasons, I've got an entire phone filled with them. Where it's either season 1, season 2, or season 3. I know we talked about all of them here today, and I think it would look really good to have those showcased when we're talking about them. So if anyone needs them, hit me up. I'd be happy to even put them in servers somewhere if Bo created like a channel that said Flashcraft pictures or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, that's. I don't know. I don't think I'll be offering much more to the table as this new year comes. Like everyone else has said, job and everything is starting to get ramped up. We've got huge contracts that we have to fulfill, and if we don't, we could get in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, I will be busy.
Well, thank you, everybody. I really have enjoyed being part of this, and it's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Knight, for being basically my Minecraft sugar daddy in a way. It takes me forever to do something, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I can get you this thing. Oh, you need a lantern? Here, have some. Oh, you want some diamond armor gear? Go ahead, pull one." So
wow.
that's my secret. So if you guys are all doing true confessions of Earth 3,
that just happened.
I wouldn't have been able to do anything if Knight hadn't just been like, "Oh, here's some stuff that you wouldn't be able to get for 3 more months."
That's all right. Will was basically my Minecraft sugar daddy. Between his villager breeder and iron farm, was basically my situation as well.
And then the netherite at the end, man. I mean, I throw you like 20 blocks?
Yeah, but I scammed you out of that one, so that's a little different.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
worked for it.
I gave it to you happily. I know what you were doing. I had no idea.
Well, thanks again, everyone. And I feel like I could talk with y'all for like another hour with more questions and stuff, but I'm looking at time. So thanks for this. And we can always chat again in Discord, or if anyone wants to just like jump on together and just see who's around, and it'd be great.
Before we call it, I do want to say I love you all. You guys are a great family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Same here.
I agree with that statement. You guys aren't friends, you're family.
Oh man,
Agreed.
thank y'all so
I'm
much.
really glad we got along.
Yeah.
Really worried about that Kyle guy, you know.
Oh my gosh. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all so much.
All right.